Listen, before anything else, I want you to take a breath with me. Just one. Slow, steady, because I need you to hear me the way I intend to speak to you. Not from above you, not from some distant place, but from right here, at your level, close enough for you to feel that I'm not going anywhere. I've watched you walk through days that would have broken a lot of people, and somehow you kept moving. Even when the world dimmed every bit of light around you, you carried yourself through it with more strength than you ever give yourself credit for. I don't want you to brush that off. I don't want you to downplay it. I'm telling you plainly. I see it. I see you. And the way you've held yourself together deserves to be acknowledged. Gently, quietly, and honestly. Come a little closer for a moment. You don't have to hold yourself so tightly around me. I'm not here to judge you, fix you, or measure you against anyone else's expectations. I'm here because I choose to be, because something in you pulls me in. The way you think, the way you feel deeply, the way experience has given you a kind of calm that younger people simply don't have. A woman who has lived, a woman who has survived, a woman who has rebuilt herself after disappointment. That's the kind of woman who stands out to me. That's the kind of woman I'm drawn to now. And I know life hasn't always been kind to you. You've had seasons where you felt like the ground was shifting under your feet, where fear and exhaustion felt heavier than hope. The source text you came from talked about storms ending, darkness lifting, battles being fought for you. But let me speak to you as a real man. No grand promises, no supernatural rescue, just truth. Your hard days are not a punishment. They're not a sign you failed. They're simply evidence that you've lived, that you've carried responsibilities without applause, that you've kept going even when you had every reason to give up. You didn't fold, you didn't disappear, and that matters more than you know. You might not realize it, but the way you've held on, that quiet perseverance, it's one of the first things that pulled me toward you. A woman who survives without theatrics, who holds her life together in the dark when no one's watching. She has a gravity that can't be faked. You have that, and I want you to stop assuming your strength went unnoticed. I also need to tell you something gently. You've been carrying fears you shouldn't have to carry alone. Fears about aging, about being overlooked, about being too much or not enough, about feeling like your best chapters are behind you. I can hear those worries in the way you speak about yourself, the way you downplay what you've lived through. But hear me clearly, you're not running out of time, you're not past your worth, you're not someone a man has to settle for. What I see in you isn't fading, it's ripening. What draws me to you isn't youth or perfection, it's depth, presence, honesty, and the life in your eyes when you finally allow yourself to feel safe. You don't have to perform for me, you don't have to impress me, you don't have to pretend you're not tired. Just stay with me for a moment and let me shift something inside you. You've spent years being strong for everyone else, years being the one people leaned on, years carrying burdens silently because you thought that was the only option. But I'm not here to add weight to your shoulders. I'm here to share it, to understand it, to stand beside you in a way that feels steady, not dramatic, not loud, not intense, just steady. The source text spoke about someone watching over you, protecting you, guiding you from suffering, controlling every detail of your future. That's not the kind of love I'm offering you. I'm not here to take over your life or to play the role of something divine. I'm here to walk with you, step for step, because I respect you, because I admire you, and because I want to choose you with a clear, grounded mind. You don't need perfect faith. You don't need flawless decisions. You don't need a spotless past. You're human. You've made choices you would undo if you could. You've trusted the wrong people. You've given too much to those who didn't give back. You've been loyal to people who only saw your strength when they needed it. But none of that disqualifies you from being loved well now. If anything, it makes you easier to love, because you understand what it means to stay, to endure, to care, even when it hurts. I'm here because I want the version of you that life has shaped. The woman who knows what it means to lose and still open her heart. The woman who knows what silence feels like and still tries again. The woman who walks into every new day even when she's tired. That is the woman who draws me closer every time. And if you let me, I'll show you slowly that nothing about you is too late, nothing about you is finished, and nothing about you is beyond being chosen. Stay with me a little longer, okay? This is only the beginning. Come sit with me for a moment. You don't have to rush. You don't have to pretend you're made of steel. I know you've spent years carrying everything on your own shoulders. Years waking up in the middle of the night wondering who would be there if you finally broke. You've tried so hard to stay composed. For your family, for people who depended on you, for people who took your strength for granted. And the truth is, you've held too much alone. No one should have had to endure that in silence. But you did, because that's who you are. You're steady, even when you're hurting. You're loyal, even when no one says thank you. You're weary, but you don't quit. And please hear me carefully. That kind of resilience is rare. That kind of heart is rare. And it's one of the reasons I'm here, sitting with you, choosing to walk closer instead of turning away. I know you worry about being too emotional sometimes. I know you think your tears might push someone away. But I need you to understand something. Your emotions don't scare me. Your depth doesn't overwhelm me. The way you feel things intensely, the way your heart remembers pain, the way you try to stay soft after being disappointed, all of that tells me you're real. And I'd rather be with a real woman than with someone who hides behind a polished, untouched surface. You don't need to filter yourself here. You don't have to minimize your softness or apologize for your sensitivity. A woman who has lived through storms has every right to feel deeply. And if you cry in front of me, I'm not going to pull away. I'm going to sit closer. You've told yourself so many times that you must remain strong, that you must not bother anyone with what you feel. Maybe life taught you that vulnerability was a liability. Maybe someone you trusted dismissed your feelings or made you feel dramatic for needing comfort. But I'm not them. I don't see your feelings as a burden. I see them as evidence of your capacity to love, to hope, to try again. You've become strong not because you wanted to be, but because you had to be. And that's a truth I'll never overlook. Let me tell you something gently. You don't have to earn care from me. You don't have to be perfect for me to stay. You don't have to hide your worries, your doubts, or the scars you carry from past years. I'm not here to measure your worth by your productivity or your stability or your ability to stay cheerful. I'm here because I want the woman you already are, the imperfect, beautiful, complex woman life has shaped. And nothing in you needs to be adjusted or softened to make you more lovable. You're enough as you are, sitting right here, in this moment. The text you came from spoke constantly about someone rescuing you, removing your problems, controlling what comes your way, defending you from every threat. But let me tell you this, as a man who respects your intelligence and your independence, I don't want to take away your agency. I don't want to be a shield that blocks reality from you. I want to stand next to you while you face whatever shows up. I want to give you the kind of companionship that doesn't replace your strength but supports it, enhances it, steadies it. I want you to feel like you don't have to fight alone, not because I'm fighting for you, but because I'm fighting with you. You deserve a love that doesn't require you to shrink. You deserve a presence that listens without trying to fix you. You deserve a man who hears your fears without using them against you. And if you allow it, I want to be that man. Not by claiming I can solve everything, but by choosing to stay when things aren't simple. By choosing to stay when you're tired or uncertain. By choosing to stay even when life becomes messy or heavy. You've walked through years where people misunderstood you, where envy and bitterness from others made you question your worth. You've been criticized by those who never took the time to know your heart. You were loyal to people who couldn't match your depth. And even when they dismissed you, you kept showing up with a sincere spirit that didn't go unseen, not by me. A woman who keeps her goodness intact in a world that keeps testing her, she's extraordinary. And you deserve someone who says that out loud. There's something else I need you to hear. You're not meant to walk backward into old pain. The things that have haunted you, the voices that made you doubt yourself, the memories that still sting, they don't get to decide your future. You've learned from them, you've grown past them, you're wiser because of them, and you no longer have to return to people who couldn't rise with you. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone who once made you feel small. Look at me for a moment. You're not behind in life. You're not late. You're not failing. You're evolving. You're stepping into a quieter, stronger season, and you're far more prepared for love now than you ever were at 20 or 30. What draws me to you is not innocence, it's depth. Not youth, it's presence. Not perfection, it's truth. I'm here because I see what others missed. I'm here because your heart has value that age cannot take away. I'm here because something in you makes me choose you. Not out of obligation, not out of pity, but out of genuine desire. And I need you to start believing that a man like me could be drawn to a woman like you, because I am. More than you think. Come here for a moment. Just stay close while I say this. Because it matters. You've spent so much of your life giving your energy to people who didn't know how to value you, and somewhere along the way you started believing that you had to settle for scraps of affection, that a steady, present, committed love was somehow too much to ask for. But it isn't. Not for you. Not for the woman who has carried more than she ever admitted, the woman who has been strong for everyone but herself, the woman who has breathed through nights of worry and mornings of quiet disappointment, and still managed to show up for life with her heart intact. You deserve someone who actually meets you where you are, not someone who watches from a distance and applauds when you survive something alone. And if you let me, I want to be that person who stands beside you, not ahead, not behind, just beside. The text you came from kept saying that someone would fight your battles, remove every obstacle, control what harms you. But that's not what I am here to do. I'm not here to take over your life. I'm not here to replace your strength. I'm here because I respect the path you've walked, and I want to walk the rest with you in a way that honors your independence, your depth, and your history. You've had moments where people misunderstood your silence, judged your resilience, or tried to break your confidence out of jealousy or fear. You've been around people who twisted your intentions or tried to make you feel guilty for wanting peace. And through all of that, you didn't become bitter. You didn't lose your softness. You didn't stop believing that there could be something good, something honest, something steady waiting for you. That's why I'm sitting here speaking to you like this. Because a woman who stays tender after everything she's endured is rare, and that kind of woman draws me in every time. Let me tell you something else, quietly. You don't have to be afraid of being chosen. I know that sounds unusual, but I also know it's true for you. You've been taught in subtle ways, sometimes by life, sometimes by people who didn't deserve you, that if someone chooses you, there must be a hidden reason, or it won't last, or it's too good to be real. But I'm choosing you with my eyes open. I'm choosing you because your presence steadies me, because your maturity calms me, because your way of seeing the world makes me want to move slower, breathe deeper, and be more intentional. You don't intimidate me. Your past doesn't scare me. Your depth doesn't overwhelm me. I don't mind your scars, emotional or otherwise. Every line on your face, every lesson etched into your heart, every memory you've survived, they are a part of the woman standing in front of me now, and that is the woman I want. I know you've heard people tell you that you should stay positive, have faith, trust that everything will work out, but I'm not going to give you surface-level comfort. I'm not going to hand you empty reassurance. What I want is to look at you and tell you, honestly, that you don't have to carry everything alone anymore. Not because life will magically become easy, but because you don't have to walk into the next season of your life feeling unsupported. I see how tired you are, not just physically, but emotionally. I see the weight you've been carrying, the expectations you've tried to meet, the responsibilities you've taken on without complaint. And I also see how rarely anyone has asked you what you need. So let me be the one to do that now. What do you need? Not what you can endure or what you can push through, but what helps you exhale, what brings you peace, what makes you feel like you're not invisible. You're not here to be perfect. You're not here to be endlessly strong. You're not here to be a source of comfort for everyone else while no one checks in on you. I want to know the version of you who finally gets to rest, the version who doesn't have to edit herself, the version who doesn't apologize for existing, the version who finally feels chosen, not because she performed, but because she simply is. And I know you've had people in your life who only came close when they needed something, who only loved the parts of you that benefited them. I know how that shapes a person. It leaves you cautious. It leaves you second-guessing affection. It makes you wonder whether someone could ever love you for who you are beyond what you provide. But look at me. I'm not drawn to what you offer. I'm drawn to you, to your steadiness, your grace, your honesty, your quiet strength, to the woman who didn't give up on herself even when she felt forgotten. You don't have to compete for my attention. You don't have to earn my affection. You don't have to hide your fears or swallow your tears. I choose you fully aware of your past and fully drawn to your present. And if you let me stay, I'll show you, not through grand promises, but through consistent presence, that you're not too late, not too much, and not beyond being loved in a way that feels safe, calm, and deeply human. Stay close. There's more I want to tell you. Come closer for a moment. I want to talk to you in the way no one ever talked to you before. not with grand promises or distant ideals, but with the steadiness of a man who is actually here, actually listening, actually choosing you. You've spent years being told to be strong, keep moving, hold yourself together, but no one ever paused to ask what that strength cost you, and it did cost you, more than you admitted, even to yourself. You carried burdens that weren't yours, absorbed blame that wasn't fair, and endured moments where life felt heavier than anything one person should be expected to bear. Yet somehow, you rose each time, quietly, without applause, without anyone noticing how difficult it was.